Hello, everyone. We have something a little bit different today for the podcast. My friend Melissa is here not to talk about herself and her amazing marketing, but to talk about me. She is going to take over as host, and we're going to talk about the book launch planner that I have been shouting from the rooftops. Welcome.
Hi, I just wanted to say hello, everybody. I'm super excited. I know this is totally bizarre, but I had this idea that I wanted to do an interview in reverse because Carolyn always interviews everybody else. And so I just wanted to say, announce my enthusiasm for her project. And by doing that, instead of just asking her all the questions, I really just wanted to say, okay, let's do a reverse interview. And I wanted to find out all the things because I know that your listeners and your watchers are also very interested in all the things. So first of all, this is what comes to a complete surprise to me as a complete surprise. And I'm just wondering what sparked this? Like, how did you get started with this project?
It was a little bit secret. It wasn't a total secret, but yeah, I was squirreling away working on it behind the scenes. I had this realization that I always think of book launching as really intimidating and like there's some secret that I don't know. There's some formula and I can't do it, even though that's not to say I haven't launched books before, but it always feels like, it could be better. There's something I'm missing. There's something that somebody else knows. And then I started interviewing people who specialize in book launches on my podcast. And I started watching YouTube videos about it. And I started reading books about it. And I was like, there's nothing here that I don't already know. There is no secret. It's information. And usually it seems like what happens is that people get an avalanche of information
Yeah.
about book launches, and it's all disordered in different places. Like, you should do this on launch day. Oh, but then you should also like have done this already, and this and this and this, and here's some ideas that are not connected to each other.
Yeah.
So I thought, even just for myself, I want to lay it out into a timeline and tell myself, on this day do this task and here's how to do it, on this day do this task and here's how to do it, and synthesize all of that information about how to launch a book, so it's just like all in one place and just follow step by step.
Oh my God. I mean, it's so brilliant because, for as popular as regular planners are at the beginning of the year or quarterly or business or whatever, I mean, this is so specific. And you've just gotten so specific with, that I knew that you had launched a couple of other books before, and it's sort of been different kinds of formats. And, you've worked with slightly different groups of people. And so for you to kind of take all this knowledge and like really put it into an actual planning format. Now you were flipping through it was a reel or a story I just saw, and
Mm-hmm.
you're flipping through it. So flip through it a little bit with me, because the other thing that I'm very conscious of is another friend of mine has teaches, and so she reminds me that every time I do something, yeah, see, it has to have sort of different formats for people who can actually who think differently, right? Who think in visual, who think in words, who think in not just bullets, but and not just
Yeah,
paragraphs.
so like
Yes.
here
I
I
mean,
have
look
this
at how
calendar
cute
of
that
tasks,
is.
but also like if you want to write in your own task, there's also a blank one.
Okay,
And
great.
it's like for 3 months ahead of time, daily tasks that you can do.
Okay. And it's in a certain order, right? You said?
Yep.
Okay. So I think
So
that's the other thing that people get stuck on is like, even for me, for doing marketing stuff, when you're launching anything, things kind of have to come in a certain order. You have to kind of introduce what's happening, and then you have to kind of build up to the actual thing, and then you have to like tell them that like this is something you can't live without. So who is this really for? I mean, is this for someone who's not got a book, who's already got a book? What happens if they've already launched their book or they're halfway writing? Like where are
well,
you on
it's
the
never too
spectrum?
late to relaunch a book. So if your book's already out
Oh,
there, just do it again.
oh
Start
my
from
gosh,
the beginning.
that's a great tip.
But yeah, it's mainly meant for indie authors, self-publishing authors. I have a background in fiction, so it kind of has that fiction bent to it. But I also work with a lot of nonfiction authors in building sales funnels and websites. So that is in there as well. And I think even if you're traditionally published, it's going to give you some great ideas, and just it's worth getting to look at and like just pick and choose. You don't have to do the whole shebang. You can just look at it and say, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Mark that off. I'm going to do that.
Right. I mean, it's funny because you've launched a book on launching a book. So it's sort of like, in those mirrors where you see like a person and a person and a person, like
Very
yourself or whatever.
recursive. Yep.
So how did you launch this? I mean, I think we were talking a little bit about this. This is a print on demand book for you. So you've launched this book and you have, followed the steps, and this is the how it all happens, right?
I will
So
say that I did not follow every instruction in my own book because I don't have the patience. It starts 3 months back, and I was like, 3 months to wait to share it with people? I don't want to do that. So I kind of
well,
chose the tasks that I could do in a compressed time frame because that's how I am. But I'm also looking at a novel that I have in the works. And so I'm like, I can follow this step by step to launch that novel and show people behind the scenes as I use it step by step.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love that it's sort of not really like necessarily month by month because, as things go fast in some months and slow in other months, it's sort of like this accordion timing for when you're, trying to figure things out. But you can't like go quickly, like just dump a book on someone and be like, here you go. You got to be like, okay,
And
what is
especially
it?
if
It's like,
you want like media attention, if you want to get
yeah.
interviewed on podcasts, if you want to get it to review sites, a lot of them have a long lead time. So if you
Oh, good to
want those
know.
reviews to come out on launch week to take advantage and get that momentum, then you're going to have to contact them ahead of time. And so
Right.
that's
So this
where
is also
part of
about building that momentum as well.
hmm
Great, great, great. Anything else we should know? I mean, it's a print on demand book for you. So you've launched this as that. So what does that mean? Like, where do we find you and how
It's
do we?
available on Amazon,
Okay.
and I'm doing it in two formats. So one is the print format on Amazon. I'm not doing it as an ebook because it just has so much that's fill in.
Oh, good.
But I am doing it as a digital planner. If you're familiar at all with the digital planner world,
Yeah.
where it's like it looks like a paper planner, but it's a PDF, and you put it into a app like GoodNotes, and you can like do stickers and write on it. So I have that coming out on Etsy.
Oh, that's amazing.
And
That's
then so
amazing.
there is the back has a 3 month blank calendar. And so the idea is that you read the whole thing front to cover, front to back. And then as you go through and you pick which things I really want to do, you kind of put all of it back here. So this is
Oh,
like
that's great.
social media posts and my outreach and every task I need to do that day so that all the different pieces come together in that big
That's
calendar
amazing.
at the end.
I mean, it's so thorough. I mean, I'm so excited. I already know like two people who I need to get that for. So I'm
And
like,
it's
I
got the
can't wait.
foundations too, because author website, funnels, like we got to talk about that stuff too.
I mean, it's soup to nuts, really. I mean, and so tell me how does this work with someone when someone's like, so this is, you said indies and yes, reader magnet. See, I love the visuals of that too. I mean, it's so brilliant. You and your glasses crack me up. So, the other thing that I wanted to say was that so this isn't just for people who are working with publishers. This is like indies and self-publishing. So this is like publisher in your pocket kind of thing. Like somebody who would guide you toward like getting your media together, getting your drafts in or whatever.
Yeah, it's not going to be completely like it does not guide you in getting your own ISBN. It's not about this assumes that your editor has already been over it. You got a cover designed. There is another book launch planner by someone named Mandy Lynn of Stone Ridge Books, I believe, and she has more of that earlier in the process part.
Okay.
This is like all of the assets of your book are ready and you've got your launch date, and
Off
now
you
these are
go.
all the marketing pieces that you need to put into place.
Wow. That's amazing. So you've just created a whole new niche for yourself. I mean, this is super exciting. I mean, but it's so exciting because it's like it's the financially free author stuff that you've been talking about, but plus it's the marketing stuff that you've been talking about, the digital stuff that's really amazing. Well, I'm super excited as you know. I was so excited that I just called her up and I was like, okay, we have to talk about this, but as long as we're doing it, we may as well do it on a camera.
Yes, because other people will have the same questions. So
Well, yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm super excited. Well, congratulations again. I mean, this is just the beginning, I think. Now that you've cracked the code, you know the
yeah.
secret, right? This
Now
is
I
the
know the
secret.
secret of launching is there's no secret.
There's no secret,
It's
but there's a
it's work.
plan,
There is a
right?
plan.
The
There's a
secret
step
is to
by step
plan.
guidance.
Yeah. The secret is to use the planner to get the pieces in place and really gain that momentum. So that's amazing. I'm super excited.
There's a lot of digital
Congratulations.
resources too. Like there's a link that connects to my webpage where I just like have tons and tons and tons of other people's YouTube videos, courses, instructions on how to do every piece of this.
Love it.
Canva
I love it.
templates and all that stuff.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thanks for letting me do a takeover today, a spontaneous takeover.
This is super fun. Thank you.
Anyway,
And
thanks so
yeah,
much
I
again. And
will have the link for it in the description.
great. Great.